Palm reading of a female whose age is 27 years old. We are reading her hand. We are going to be reading the left as well as the right hand. Normally it is said that we should read the left hand for females, but in my case I give importance to both the hands. Here I would also be comparing the hand to somebody else's hand. Just take a look at this particular hand. This is the hand we would be reading. We compare it with this particular hand. I won't be naming the personality, but it's a simple kind of a hand. Simple heart line, simple headline, simple lifeline. So simple lines are considered to be much better than complicated lines. What I mean by complicated lines is that having more lines over the palm is considered to be a little bit negative. It kind of creates blockages in our life. The lines should be extremely simple, like in this case, just see the comparison, this particular hard line that you're seeing out here with this particular hard line, which is only one single line. One single line is much better than a complicated kind of a hard line. Now what we mean by complicated is that, notice out here, this is the hard line and there's another line that is running parallel out here. Then there are few branches over the heart line. Then as it progresses, then there is a break in the heart line. This is the break that I'm referring to. Then again there are few changes that you experience, you would notice on this particular hand. This is the left hand for the female. I'll just go to the right hand as well. Just give me one moment and we go to the right hand. In the right hand also the heart line is a little bit complicated. In the initial phases of the heart line, it is something like this. So this portion, if there are branches, it means love for children. The children might get attracted to such a person, but at the same time, as the line progresses, it becomes a little bit complicated. It has an island like formation. Island on the heart line means elongated period of emotional stress and anxiety. Then there are branches on the heart line. Branches on the heart line creates distractions. The person falls for temptations. The person is not able to commit themselves completely. This particular longer line which touches the headline, it indicates that the person may have misplaced affections. By what we mean by misplaced affections is being affectionate to somebody who is not worth your affection. Apart from this leaning particular line, there is also a break out here. So break on the heart line means an abrupt ending in a relationship or a partnership or the work you're doing. So consider this, that this is the starting portion of the heart line, this is the ending portion of the heart line. So this break is happening at a little bit later portion of the life. But apart from this break, there's also this island that I talked about, which means elongated period of emotional stress and anxiety. So some sort of small or big problems are going to continue in the life. The way to basically reduce this is by strengthening your heart. Sometimes what happens is, I'm just giving you a comparative analysis so that you understand what I'm trying to convey. Sometimes what happens is a person may have this kind of a simple line, and it just means that this person gets the capacity to face problems in their life in a much more better way compared to when the lines are a little bit complicated. Okay, so when they're complicated, it means that probably everything is good in their life, but in spite of everything being good, the person would still have or would still create stress and anxiety in some way or the other. So strengthening of the heart is necessary. What we mean by strengthening of the heart is whatever a cardiologist would tell you to do. A cardiologist would tell you to do is something like walk, try to strengthen your heart by walking, doing yoga, by meditation, and these are the things that you have to do in your life and eat at the right time, sleep at the right time. These are the things that would make your life much better. So this is what you need to do. Apart from this heartline, we would also look at the area of Mars negative area. Now Mars negative area is the area of anger, aggression and fire. So notice there's so many lines are out here. The horizontal lines that you see out here, these are negative lines. These lines are considered to be the lines of oppositions. And whenever they touch the lifeline, this is the lifeline, they kind of make our health bad physically. And when they progress and go and touch towards the headline, it creates anger and aggression. And anger and aggression is always considered to be a negative sign. And these lines that you see, these are in the initial period. This is the initial period of the lifeline. This is the initial period of your headline. So these things are happening, everything is happening at the initial phase of the life. So Mars, you have to understand what is Mars negative. The area and marked out here, the name given is Mars negative, and Mars negative is the area for anger, aggression and fire. And this is also in the area of your stomach, because in your stomach there's fire. So having more lines over the area of Mars negative means that our fire in the stomach is uncontrolled, and that is the reason why our stomach is likely to be upset. Now she is right now only 27. So at the age of 27, what is happening is that the person is able to cope up with all the problems that the person may face. This is what happens when the person is young. But as you are growing older, these things, the ability to face problems decreases. So right now, I might have said all these things, but the person may not agree. But as the time progresses, these aspects of the life are going to become prominent. So it's better to improve upon our health right now instead of doing it at a later stage. Try to inculcate better habits in your life. If you do that, things are likely to be much better in your case. So having more lines over the area of Mars negative and the area of planes of Mars. This is the planes of Mars. Notice the comparison. Out here you'll notice very few lines out here, very few, just the basic line, just the headline, just the money line, just the life, and also apart from that there's no other line out here. So that's how it should be. So when you have got more lines over the area of Mars, planes of Mars, it is indicative of our temper is out of control. And when there are more lines out here on the area of negative Mars, then our anger is misguided and mistargeted. Okay, mistargeted basically means it's something like we are wasting our fire. Something like you switch on the gas stove and just leave it just like this without using any utensil. So you're wasting the fire. You can't waste the fire in your life. So if you're wasting fire, that means you're getting angry over wrong issues. So you are not targeting to get the actual work done. What's happening is because you're being delegated to do a particular work and you're not able to get the work, what's going to happen is that you would get angry over wrong issues. So this is what basically it means. So if you try to improve upon these particular aspects, things can become much better in your life. Apart from these negative lines that I've spoken about, there is one positive line as well. This positive line is this particular line. This is called the line of Mars, and this line of Mars runs parallel to the lifeline. This is the lifeline. Okay, so I might have spoken few negative things out here, but the line that I'm referring to, this particular Mars line, this is a positive line. What it does is it kind of gives protection from difficult people, difficult situation, to come out as winner. It brings a spark within us, like we are able to reignite our life, re-spark our life at any given moment of time. Although there are positives as well as negative. the horizontal line is negative, the parallel line is positive. So both these things are happening parallelly at the same time. These negative lines are more in the earlier portion, not in the later portion comparatively. And see, normally what happens is that people do not have a long line of Mars. But in this particular case, the line of Mars is long and running throughout one's life. So this makes it a rare line. So this is a very, very positive line to have. Although if it was much more deeper and clearer, it would have been better. Now you would be wondering why we are taking a look at the right hand. My take is that we should refer left hand as well as the right hand in order to arrive at the conclusion. Both hands needs to be referred. It is said that we should refer the left hand for females and right hand for male, but in my case I give importance to both the hands. If the woman is working, I give more importance to the right hand, but certainly we would not ignore the left hand as well. Now coming back out here, on the area of Mount of Venus, this is the area for Mars negative, and this is the area for Venus. Even out here you would find lots of lines, but and more lines out here, the person may waste their energies over wrong issues. More lines out here in the center of the palm means the temper is out of control. So the temper needs to be in control, and the stomach needs to be given more importance, and our health needs to improve even further. Now what we also find out here is that this is the line of head. You would notice that towards the end there's a branching of the heart line, and even in the earlier portion there's an upward line pointing towards the mount of Mercury. Now these upward lines on the line of head is considered to be a good sign, and these are happening at the earlier portion of the life. Earlier portion could be, let's say, from 20s to late 20s. This is the portion I am speaking about. So if some good things happen on the on your hand in the earlier portion of the life, then probably many more good things are likely to happen throughout your life, because this is the time you are building your life. And if there are good signs in the earlier portion, they would reflect upon in the later portion of your life as well. In the books of palmistry, these upward lines pointing towards the mount of Mercury is considered to be writing skill. A person becomes an author. But I would say that not every person can become an author in spite of having these lines. It could just mean upliftment of the mind. Consider you're standing, the fingertips is the head, the lower portion of it, the hand is the earth and gravity. If there was a downward line, it would mean mental disappointment. If there's an upward line pointing towards the sky, the head, it means upliftment of the mind. That means something good is happening at that given moment of time, and that basically leads to betterment in one's life. So these lines are beautiful lines to have, and sometimes it could mean upgradation of your knowledge, increase of your knowledge. All these things are happening. Not every person may have these lines. Try to understand, not many people might have these lines in the hand. Now we basically move on to the line of sun. I'm just going to darken the image a little bit so that lines become even more visible comparatively. So out here you would notice that this is the line of sun. Any line moving towards the sun mount is the line of sun. In the initial period till the age of 53, this portion is before the age of 53, this portion is after the age of 53. So the quality of the line of sun becomes much deeper and clearer after the age of 53. This is when it becomes much more deeper and clearer. Okay, so this is a good sun line to refer to. Not many people, I also need to tell you that not many people, they have a long sun line. Very few people might have a long sun line. Even the most successful people, they may not have a long sun line. It is not necessary to have a long sun line. My take is that if I find a good sun line out here, although books mention this portion is after the age of 53. But in my practical experience, I would say that even if you have these lines, it would also mean throughout your life, the chances of your success increases. Now, towards the end, you would notice that there is a triangle-like formation. Now, triangles, if it is found on this particular sun mount of sun, or any other mount, all of them is considered to be good, provided it is on the line. So it is on the major line, and it would certainly bring good results in their life. And the clarity of the sunline basically means that you are able to give energies to your work, and there's clarity in the work that you're doing. But this clarity is coming at a later stage, not at the earlier stage, because the quality of the sunline appears to be a little bit dim, unclear, wavy like formation is there. So when the line is dim and unclear, it is indicative of doubts and self-doubt. So the best way to do is removal of doubts is necessary. If you remove the doubts, the chances of your success increases. So this is what is basically being indicated by the sun line. Now, even in the left hand, you would notice probably this is the sun line and this is the sun line, and so these are like variation. There are lots of variations, and from the this appears to be the money line, and this is the sun line, and this is again the sun line. So to some extent, these are the two major sun lines, I would say. These two are kind of pointing from the area of Mars positive area. This is the area of Mars positive. Mars positive is the area of coolness, calmness, and tenacity. So having a sunline originate on the mount of Mars positive and move towards the area of sun could indicate that the person would be known for these particular qualities in their life, and their name and fame is going to come from this particular direction. And the timing when it basically starts to be good is somewhere at this particular point. So this point is roughly 46, and this long line is somewhere close to the age of 37 or so. But this line is comparatively dim, and the later portion line is much more deeper and clearer. So this is much more deeper and clear. This portion is much more deeper and clearer. So after the age of 53. Now, similar indications, see, both our hands generally is similar, quite similar. So whatever we see on the left hand is also kind of getting indicated in the right hand as well. So this is the left hand we are referring to. Same, many lines out here. I won't repeat. On the area of Mars negative, many lines on the area of Mount of Venus. So energy utilization is bad, like the energies. See, right now you're 27, so every person does have good energies, even if they don't feel well, like even if they don't have the best of health, because the youth energies is there. But as you're growing older, these energies are going to deplete. Try to conserve the energies. Try not to waste your energies. Try to use them very productively. Only goal-oriented energies. Goal-oriented energies means targeting your energies towards only your goal, and that is what can bring you better result. As far as the line of life goes, this is the lifeline. And now this is a normal kind of a lifeline. But what makes it different is these particular lines that you see out here. These are considered to be good lines. Any line pointing from the area of Mount of Jupiter that are kind of joining the line of life is considered to be good line. It basically indicates that your life is getting guided by Jupiter. Life getting guided by Jupiter means you're seeking the qualities of Jupiter in your life: position and power, respect and honor. So these things basically, if it is indicated in the hand, they are considered to be good. Although the quality of these lines may not be the best, because you would notice how dim and thin the line is. So thin line gives a little bit less result, and a strong line gives a comparatively better result. So some of them is dim and unclear, and some of them are comparatively stronger lines. So it would certainly give positive results. These lines that you see, this is in the earlier portion of your life before the age of, let's say, 25 or so. And later you would notice a line originating from the area of Saturn and moving and joining the lifeline. These are considered to be good lines. Basically, any line pointing from the finger and joining is considered to be good. Any line exiting, like you notice there's a line that is exiting pointing towards the mount of moon, those are bad. These are happening at a little bit later stage, probably around the age of 55 or so, and a little bit negative. Now, this particular line that we are referring to, this is a little bit unclear. Should we consider this line originate from the lifeline and join the lifeline, the money line? This is the money line. Or should we consider it to be the opposite? Let's consider the opposite. Consider this is the money line and a line is going inside and touching the lifeline or pointing towards the area of Mars negative. Both these indications are negative. If we consider from the point of view of money line branch pointing towards lifeline or the line or the area of Mars negative, this is considered to be negative because if you take money towards fire, it's going to burn. If this is age 35, so this point is going to be around the age of, let's say, 31 or so, 31 or so. This is when these things are happening. So the person may make good money, but the person may also lose some money as well. So this is what we can say, but consider it from the different perspective, which I had spoken earlier. This is the lifeline, a line moving out, pointing towards Mount of Moon means health loss or wealth loss. It could also indicate towards restlessness. It could also point towards desire for travel, and it could also point towards the perception of life also getting changed at that particular age. So there are 2 points where these lines are moving outwards, and sometimes this line could also point towards the lower portion of the body problems, below the lungs area. I would say that, and those are the problems I would say. In both hands there is a strong Mars line, so this would certainly give anger and aggression. The line that is running parallel is positive anger aggression. The horizontal lines is negative anger and aggression. So positive as well as negative anger aggression is there. I would say that start to learn how to reduce anger and aggression in your life. If we eat the right things, probably even then we can reduce the anger and aggression, and that would lead to more success in one's life. Now we also notice out here, this is the original money line. There are branches over the line out here on the money line in the initial period. Right now she's 27, pointing towards the area for Mars. These are negative. Then there's a break as well out here. Break. So sometimes this break is known to create problems. Now problems can be associated in different ways. So one of the problem could be there could be job loss, work loss, business loss. This is the first thing. Sometimes people don't experience the job loss. So the other option could be the main earning member of the family, their health or wealth goes down, and more responsibility falls onto this particular person's head. Sometimes even this might not be the case. The third option could be one's personal life can also get disturbed due to a break on the line of money, the line of fate, or whatever you may call it, the line of Saturn. So this does bring about some amount of instability. So we need to be a little bit careful during these years of your life. And the heart line, you would notice that they are running parallel for some duration of time. So a line of heart that is running parallel, it would mean duality in your emotions, like two relationships are going at the same time. Now we can't say every time that it's what you might be thinking, but it could also mean sometimes we are on two boats at the same time. By two boats on the same time means if we try to stabilize ourselves on two boats, what's going to happen is we are likely to fall down. Even in still waters, if we try to balance on two boats, we are likely to fall down. So same applies in the relationships as well. So try to be on one boat instead of two boats at the same time. That would make you much more happy, much more content. And it is very easily said, but it's very hard to do these things. The quality of the headline improves after the age of 35. Yes, there is a problem, big problem that may touch a person around the age of 35, and also probably at the age of, let's say, 33 or so, and also before that as well. So these are the problem lines that I'm talking about. So when there is problem, we need to be careful, we need to be patient, we need to try to mend ways somehow or the other. We need to take help from others as well, if and from the right kind of people. This is the heart line, and there's a circular kind of a line as well. So this is the line of this is basically the line of girdle of Venus, and girdle of Venus does bring about some amount of hysteria. Hysteria means the emotions are going very up and then dipping in, like that sinking kind of a feeling. So these emotions are up and down this way. So the emotions need to be extremely stable. Something like this. Out here, the emotions are going to be extremely stable. Even if the worst case scenario happens in this particular case, the worst kind of things also happen, even then the person would remain calm. But out here, small things also can disturb you to a very, very great extent. I will just end the video out here. Before I end the video, there's one last thing that I will speak about. You notice that there is a skin pattern. These are skin patterns that you see under every finger. So these are the common places where it ends. The Saturn mount, it ends out here. The Sun mount, it ends out here. And the Mercury mount is out here. But you notice in the Jupiter mount, this is the Jupiter mount. The Jupiter mount, we call it the triradii. Triradii, the skin pattern. And not the lines, the skin pattern I'm speaking about. So whenever this skin pattern shifts towards the edge or closer towards the edge out here, it is considered to be a good sign. The skin pattern. Jupiter is the planet for administration, religion, politics, and honor. So having this kind of a formation would bring about some very unique, either the position is going to increase or the qualities of Jupiter are going to increase and remain independent from any other planet. Imagine that if this triradii was closer to the Saturn part out here, then the Jupiter would get influenced by the Saturn. Now the Jupiter is independent and more towards the edge. So the qualities of the Jupiter are more independent from any other influence from any other planet. So that makes it much better, and such people may reach to a high position probably due to these particular like skin pattern, or we can also say these upward branches from the lifeline pointing towards the area of Jupiter. All of these are basically considered to be good indications. I would say I would just end the video out here. Thanks for watching this video, and bye and take care.